Good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now the sun's shining here, but it's a bit chilly outside yet, about 9 degrees, something like that, but nice and warm in the greenhouse with the sun shining outside. The plant in front of you is a Dracula bella, which is a species. Now I'm fortunate, very fortunate, that I've been given this, or rather presented with this. Uh, it's a long story, so I don't want to go into it. So what I want to do is say this is a Dracula bella that comes from Colombia, and it's one of the rare Draculas that can stand temperatures up to 27 degrees centigrade, and but it likes a differential of about 14 between night and day. Now, why I'm showing you this, and when I got this, uh, it came from an establishment that is breaking down, and when I was given this, the person who picked it up from the establishment said that it's probably been in that pot 5 or 6 years and never touched. So I was looking at it, and I'm looking at the pot it's in, and the holes round the pot are quite small. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it out of its pot, make the holes larger, and hopefully we'll see what the roots are like to start with, whether I repot it as it is or whether I clean the roots up and put it in fresh media. Because spring is a time that these should start putting out new root growth, so this is a perfect time to start repotting it. So we'll try and take it out of its pot and see what it's like. Well, it's got a thick wire here where it was probably held up, so we'll remove that, remove it without cutting it. Take it off this side. I mean, you can tell it's been in a long time because on this side we've got little ferns growing all over the place, which makes it quite attractive, I think. But can we take it out of its pot or not? I've no idea. And I don't know how old that pot is because I've never seen one like it. Right, let's see what's what. There's a load of moss here. In fact, it's planted in moss. And the moss is ancient. Look at that. All in bits. So I'll take as much of this out as I can without getting down and pulling the roots. It's been watered lately, but not by the people who had it. It's been watered by the person who picked it up from there. So, can we get it out of its pot yet? Yep. Come on. The little ferns will be stopping it, but there we are. Now look at that. I think it's about time I took all this moss off it. It's a huge piece of moss. And it's moss inside that as well. So this has been on this for years. Right, what we'll do, you don't want to watch me clean this up. Fully, so I'll switch off and I'll come back to you, and then we'll be able to have a look at what the roots are really like. Well, I've been at this about 40 minutes now, and I can't get it all out, but that's the moss that's come off it. Absolutely piles of it. And we'll just have a look at the plant. I mean, if you look at the leaves and you see the little specks of white on the leaves, that's the moss. But look at the roots on this plant. Absolutely fabulous plant. And as you can see, if I get close enough, I'm just doing it at the right time, because there's a lot of roots with little growing tips on them. But what I propose to do is, it's grown very well in this stuff, but it was a pot inside a pot, if you know what I mean. And the inside one has been there much longer, and that one is sort of brown and bitty. This one looks fairly new. So I'm going to mix the good stuff with some medium bark, a bit of perlite. I'm going to pot it up in that, but I'm definitely going to use some of this moss because it's grown so well in it. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful plant, as I show you when I go round. Plenty and plenty of roots. So this is going to go good when it starts to bloom, and I can't see any places where it has bloomed before. But we'll see what we can do with it. And I've decided not to make these holes any bigger in this pot. I mean, it's going to be a tedious job cutting round there, and I think the holes in this will be quite big enough for the for spikes to come through. So we're going to leave this as it is. Well, there it is. We've got it all potted up now, and it's in a mixture of bark, the sphagnum moss that was decent, and a bit of perlite. So we'll put that on one side and give it a watering, and we'll see how it goes from there. I mean, they should be beautiful, these do. The flowers on them are supposed to be about 9 inches, so if it gets about a dozen flowers on it at 9 inches, it will look nice, won't it? Anyhow, that's the Dracula Bella, and I'm not doing any more to it. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks to my subscribers, and I'll see you later.